Hello everyone, welcome to Engineering Chemistry A course, session 2. So in the session 1 we already started discussing about the chemical bonding and water technology, and in the session 2 I'm going to discuss about what is crystal field stabilization energy and high spin and low spin octahedral complex formation and splitting of d orbitals in the case of tetrahedral complexes and formation of tetrahedral complex by crystal field theory and crystal field stabilization energy of tetrahedral complexes, calculation of CFSE or tetrahedral metal complexes, and finally summary of the crystal field theory. So in the last session, we discussed about what is crystal field theory and how octahedral complexes are forming according to crystal field theory, and how d-orbital splitting is very possible in the case of strong field cases or in the case of weak field cases. So according to crystal field theory, what is the main assumption? The bond between the metal and ligand is treated as purely ionic in nature, and metal atoms or ions are treated as point charges or positive charges, and ligands are considered as negatively charged species or negative dipoles depending on the nature of the ligand. And another thing, actually, during the metal complex formation, always there is a splitting of d orbitals depending on the how many ligands approaching toward the center metal atom. So in case of octahedral complexes, the splitting pattern like there is a formation of lower energy T2G orbitals and higher energy EG orbitals. Now let us see how to calculate crystal field stabilization energy in octahedral complexes. Now our topic, actually, calculation of crystal field stabilization energy of octahedral complexes. What is CFSE? So CFSE means crystal field stabilization energy in the case of octahedral complex. So we know that in the case of octahedral complex, the center metal ion is surrounded by 6 number of ligands. Whenever these 6 ligands approaching toward the metal center in order to form metal ligand bond like this, then there is a splitting of d orbitals. So we know that in the case of octahedral complexes, this is a splitting pattern. Okay, so initially we have a degenerate d orbitals. Once metal ligand bond formation happens like this, there is a formation of two set of orbitals like this, T2G orbitals and EG orbitals. And T2G orbitals energy actually decreased when compared to the energy of the higher energy degenerate d orbitals, whereas EG orbitals energy increased comparison to the higher energy degenerate orbitals. So why this has happened? So T2G orbitals, that means dxy, dyz and dxz orbitals having less repulsions from the approaching ligands, and whereas EG orbitals dx square minus y square and dz square orbitals are having strong repulsions from the approaching ligand, and due to that repulsions between the ligand orbitals and metal d orbitals, we have a two set of orbitals like this, T2G orbitals and EG orbitals. So in this case, N1 representing how many electrons available in these T2G orbitals. So for example, in case of iron 3, D5 configuration, so in the case strong field we have a T2G 5 EG0 configuration. So these 5 actually the number of electrons available in T2G orbitals, and this 0 actually number of electrons available in EG orbitals. So in general, so N1 represents the number of electrons available in T2G orbitals, and this N2 represents the number of electrons available in EG orbitals. So in case of T2G orbitals, how many electrons are possible? Maximum number of electrons, how many possible? Since each orbital can accommodate with 2 electrons. So here we have 3 different orbitals, that the maximum capacity actually 6 only. That means N varies from 1 to 6 only. Here N1 value varies from 1 to 6. Whereas we have 2 EG orbitals. So the maximum capacity actually only 4 electrons. That means N2 value varies from 1 to 4 in this manner. So in this splitting process, so the energy of the T2G orbitals decreases this much. So how much energy decrease? Minus 2 by 5. Total we have 5 degenerate orbitals, and this decrease since 3 d orbitals energy decrease, that contribution actually minus 2 by 5 delta net value for the each electron. So So minus 0.4 delta naught value for each electron actually decreased, and whereas 3 by 5, that means 0.6 delta naught value actually increased for each electron. So what is the negative sign indicating here? So this is the energy of the in each all 5 d orbitals. But when compared to this energy, these three dr plus further stabilized because the energy further decreased. So energy decreases, stability increases. That means if any electron enters into the T2G level, that is actually more stabilized electron. Whereas easy R plus energy further increased. So energy increases, stability decreases. That means if any electron enters into the easy level, so those electrons are actually unstabilized electrons. So that is the reason generally these T2G orbitals are actually called stabilized orbitals. So stabilized orbitals, if electrons enters into stabilized orbitals, so that complex actually having more stability. If the electrons enters into the easy orbitals, because these are actually destabilized orbitals, because the energy of the easy orbitals actually very much high when compared to the T2G orbitals. So if any electron enters into the easy level, those are actually destabilized electrons, and the complex stability actually decreases. So like this, in the case of metal complex, we have a stabilized T2G orbitals and we have a destabilized easy orbitals. Now CFSE value actually gives the information about the what is the overall stability. So including T2G stability as well as easy destability. So what is the CFSE value means? Once splitting happen in this manner, in the case of octahedral complex, the electrons available in corresponding metal cation Mn plus. Let us say, so D, this metal atom contains D n number of electrons, and value varies from 1 to maximum 10 only. So depending upon the number of electrons available, some electrons actually goes to the T2G orbitals and the remaining electron goes to the easy orbitals. So like this, so after splitting pattern, what is the overall stability? So that is actually decided by crystal field stabilization energy value. Then how to calculate this crystal field stabilization energy value? So how to calculate this crystal field stabilization energy, particularly in the case of octahedral complexes? So we can calculate key CFSE value by using this formula. So N1 into, what is N1? The number of electrons available in T2G orbitals, and how much amount of energy decrease for each electron in this case, because T2G orbitals stabilized by decreasing by amount of minus 0.1 delta naught value. So that means for each electron this is the stabilization energy. So the N1 into minus 0.4 delta naught plus how much amount of energy is increasing? Plus 0.6. 0.6 N2 into N2 means this one. N2 into 0.6 delta naught value. So if we calculate this overall value, so if it is more negative value, the entire complex said to be more stabilized. If this value is 0 or less than, more positive value, then complex said to be the unstable complex. So like that, like this, by using CFSE values of various complexes, we can able to predict the stability of the corresponding metal complex. At the same time, we can also distinguish between the high spin complexes and low spin complexes. So let us see the calculation of CFSE value in some of the examples. So this is the formula for the CFSE value calculation for the particularly octahedral complexes. N1 into minus 0. Delta naught and N2 into 0.6 delta naught. So N1 actually the number of electrons available in T2G orbitals, and N2 actually the number of electrons available in easy orbitals. Let us see one example. So this is our first example, hexa aqua chromium 2 complex. So in this case, water molecule, one of the weak field ligand, and that is a neutral ligand. So therefore, cobalt chromium actually available in 2 plus state. So it is actually, if you see the electronic configuration, this is actually D4 configuration. So what is the meaning of D4 configuration? Chromium 2 plus cation having 4 d electrons only. Okay. So now this is a possible splitting pattern. We have a T2G orbitals and easy orbitals. So since water molecule is a weak field ligand, So we have to arrange electrons in this manner because we have a delta naught value less than pairing energy. We already discussed in the previous session. So in case of weak field ligands, delta naught value less than pairing energy. First we have to fill the electrons one by one. First electron, second electron, third electron, and fourth electron goes to the easy orbitals. Now see what is the electronic conflict in this case? This is T2Z3 and EZ1. T2Z3 and EZ1. Yes or not? So that means how many electrons are available in T2Z orbitals? 3 electrons are available. How many electrons are available in EZ orbitals? 1 electron available. Now what is the formula of CFSE calculation? N1 into minus 0.4 delta naught plus N2 into 0.6 delta naught. So let us calculate the CFS value in this case. First N1 value, that means 3. So let us say 3 into minus 0.4 delta naught plus electrons in N2 value, and N2 value here 1 into 0.6 delta naught. Yes or not? So electrons in T2 orbitals 3 into minus 0.4 and 1 into 0.6. So what is this value? Minus 1.2 delta naught plus 0.6 delta naught. Minus 1.2 delta naught plus 0.61. What is the overall value? Minus 0.6 delta naught. So this is the CFSE value for this particular complex. So since still this value actually negative in nature, that means this complex is little bit stable in nature. Okay. So this amount decides whether that is a highly stable complex or less stable complex. Okay, like this. So this is one of the example. Let us see one more example. So in this case, you can see there is no pairing process. We have a maximum number of unpaired electrons, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that means this is one of the high spin complex. Weak field ligands, most of the cases can form high spin complexes only. And whereas we will see another example from the same chromium metal center only. This is actually hexacyanochromium 2 complex. Okay. So in this case also chromium, because this is a Cn minus ligand. Cn minus ligand, total how many ligands are available? 6. That means we have a minus 6 negative charge. And what is the overall charge of the complex? Minus 4. Then what is the charge of the cation? That is actually plus 2. So chromium available in plus 2 state only. In both the cases, chromium available in plus 2 state only. That means again chromium actually D4 configuration and Cn minus acting as a strong field ligand in this case. So in the case of strong field case, we have there is a huge energy gap between the T2G orbitals and EZ orbitals, because in this case delta naught value is greater than the pairing energy. So therefore in this case what will happen? All these 4 electrons first enters into the T2G level only. So in the previous case 3 electrons enters into the T2G level, the next electron enters into the EZ level, because this is a weak field case and delta naught value less than pairing energy. But in this case, since it is a strong field ligand, so we have a huge energy gap between the T2G level and EZ level. All these 4 electrons are enters into the T2G orbitals only. So in this case, this is the energy calculation, electron filling like this. 1, 2, 3 and 4th electron also enters into the same level. Okay. So that means what is the electron configuration? T2G4 and EZ0. In the case of hexacyanochromium 2 complex, the splitting configuration actually T2G4 and EZ0. Now, so let us calculate CFSE value in the case of strong field cases. So what is the configuration? T2G4 and EZ0. So according to formula, what is N1 value? 4. 4 into what? Minus 0.4 delta naught plus what is N2 value? So that is actually 0. So that means 0 into 0.6 delta naught. if we calculate this overall value, so this value actually is 0 and the remaining value actually minus 1.6 delta naught. So in this case, this value actually 1.6. But in the case of previous case, what is the value? This value actually is 0.6. Both are actually having negative sign only. That means both are actually stable complexes. But when we compare the stability of the hexa-aqua-chromium complex with the hexa-cyanochromium complex, this is more stable complex because we got actually 1.4 delta naught, 1.6 delta naught value. Here we got only 0.6 delta naught value only. So in this case, we can see we have only one unpaired electron. That means this is, two unpaired electrons like this. That means in this case, we have a 4 unpaired electrons like this. In this case, we have 4 unpaired electrons, but here we have only 2 unpaired electrons. So this is one of the low spin complex. So like this, always strong field ligands forms low spin complexes, whereas weak field ligands forms actually high spin complexes. Okay. So like this, we can able to calculate CFSE values for the strong field complexes or weak field complexes. So always strong field complexes can actually forming low spin complexes, and weak field ligands always forms high spin complexes in this manner. So this is actually another example. This is hexo-aqua iron 3 complex. So in this case, iron 3 available in +3 state because water molecule is one of the neutral molecule, and this is actually D5 configuration, and water molecule is one of the neutral weak field ligand. So in this case, delta naught value less than pairing energy, therefore always we have a configuration like this. So 5 d orbitals actually enters, 3 d orbitals enters in this manner, the remaining 2 electrons enters into the EZ orbitals like this. So T2G3 and EZ2. So what is the N1 value here? 3, and what is N2 value here? 2. So this is our formula. So N1 value 3 into minus 0.4 delta naught plus N2 value 2 into 0.6 delta naught. So what is this value? Minus 1.2 delta naught, and this is actually plus 1.2 delta naught. So what is the overall value? Overall value actually 0.0 or 0 delta naught. So that means in this case we got actually 0 CFSE value. So this is actually a highly unstable complex. It can easily react with another type of, whenever we introduce another type of ligands, immediately this complex convert into new metal complex. So because in this case we have actually CFSE value 0 value, highly unstable complex. Okay. So let us see one more example, because this is actually iron complex. So this is actually iron 3 cation, and that is actually having D5 configuration like this. And we know that Cn minus actually one of the strong field ligand. In the case of strong field ligand, delta naught value greater than pairing energy, always there is a pairing process only. So all these 5 electrons enters into the T2G orbitals, and EZ orbitals actually having 0 number of electrons. So that means in this case, what is N1 value? 5. What is N2 value? 0. So if we calculate CFSE value in this case, 5 into minus 0.4 delta naught plus 0 into 0.6 delta naught. 5 into minus 0.4 delta naught plus 0 into 0.6 delta naught. So that means this value actually is 0, and we have minus 2.0 delta naught value. So this is the CFSE value, and this negative sign indicates that is the stable complex. So like this, hexa-cyano iron 3 complex actually one of the stable complex, and this is also one of the low spin complex. You can see here we have only one unpaired electron. But in the case of hexa-aqua iron 3 complex, we have how many unpaired electrons? Total we have 5 unpaired electrons. So like this, we can able to explain the formation of high spin complexes and low spin complexes. So this table contains CFSE values of all types of D configurations. Let us say first D1 configuration. So in case of D1 configuration, how many electrons are available? only one electron available, that electron enters into the T2G level, because we know that these are the T2G and these are the EZ. So in case of D1 configuration, we have only one electron. That one electron goes to the T2G level only. So T2G level, if we calculate CFSE value, that is actually minus 0.4 delta N naught. Similarly, D2 configuration. The next electron also enters into the T2G level only. 1 to 2 electrons are available. In case of EZ, 0 electrons. This is the stabilization energy, minus 0.8 delta N naught. In case of D3, 1, 2, 3. So 3 electrons occupy the T2G orbitals, and we have 0 EZ electrons and minus 1 per delta N naught. And here we are actually calculating CFSE value for the high spin complexes. High spin complexes case, first there is no pairing process. First electrons enters into all the T2G and EZ orbitals, then only there is a pairing process. So if you see in the case of D4 configuration, 1, 2, 3, the next electron enters into the EZ orbitals only. It is not pairing up with T2G another electron. So the next electron actually enters into the EZ orbital, because this is a high spin complex. A high spin complex actually possible in the case of weak field ligands only. So EZ1, that means here the configuration actually T2G, 3 and EZ1 in case of D4 configuration. So if we calculate CFSE value, we will get minus 0.6 delta naught value, because 3 T2G electrons, 1 EZ electron like this. Okay. Similarly, in the case of D5, high spin cases. So 1, 2, 3, the next 2 electrons enters into the EZ orbitals. The next 2 electrons enters into the EZ orbitals, and the overall CFSE value actually is 0.0 delta naught value. So in case of D6, so up to D5, each orbital contains 1 electron. Therefore, the next electron enters into the again T2G level, and we will get the corresponding CFSE value like minus 0.4 delta naught. So in case of D7, 5 electrons, after that 6th one, 7th one. So in case of D8, again 5, 6, 7, 8 like this, and D9 and D10 case also we can calculate. Even again in the D10 case, you can see that overall CFSE value actually 0. So in case of D5, in case of D10, we have a 0 CFSE value like this. So in case of high spin complexes, the maximum CFSE value found in the case of D3, because minus 1.2. Again in the case of D8, again the case of D8, we can see the maximum CFSE value 1 up to 1.2 only. And in case of high spin complexes, D5 configuration actually having 0 CFSE value. Again D10 also having 0 CFSE value in this manner. So this is all about the CFSE values of the high spin complexes. Similarly, we can also calculate the CFSE value for low spin complexes also, and these are the CFSE values of the low spin metal complexes. These are the CFSE values of the low spin metal complexes. So in case of low spin means low spin complexes are possible in the case of strong field ligand cases only. So low spin complexes are possible in the presence of strong field ligands. So in the presence of strong field ligands, there is a huge energy gap between the T2G orbitals and EZ orbitals. Therefore, first all the electrons enters into the T2G level. Once T2G level is completely occupied, then the remaining electron enters into the EZ level. So D1, first electron enters into the T2G level. So this is the corresponding CFSE value. And D2 also, first electron, second electron enters into the T2G level only, and D3 case also, and now and D4. So in case of D4, you can see 1, 2, 3, and the next electron also enters into the T2G level only. So that is not entering into the EZ level. The reason actually, this is the low spin complex, and that is possible in the presence of strong field ligands. In the case of strong field ligands, always electrons enters into the T2G level first. Once all the T2G orbitals are completely occupied, the remaining electron enters into the EZ level. So therefore, so this is the D4 configuration. In this case, we have so this plus P indicates that one pairing actually happen in this case. So in this case we are also including the pairing energy also, because in this case we have a one pair, yes or not? So there is a pairing of one set of electrons. So that P actually indicates that pairing energy of the first pair of electrons. Similarly, in the case of D5, you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all 5 electrons enters into the T2G level and no electrons are available in the EZ level. So in this case, how many pairs are available? 2 electron pairs are available. So in this case, we have a CFSE value 2.0 delta naught plus 2p. So 2p indicates the 2 pair of electrons available in the case of D5 configuration. Similarly, so in the case of D6, so D6, all 6 electrons enters into the T2G level only. All the 6 electrons enters into T2G level and EZ level actually is 0. So like this. So how many pairs are possible in this case? 3 pairs possible. So in this case, if we calculate CFSE value, that is 2.4, and we have a plus 3p also. 3p actually indicates that 3 pairs are available in this case. So like this, D7, D8, D9, D10 also we can calculate in this manner only. Okay. Okay. So this is all about the CFSE values of the low spin octahedral complexes. But in this case, the maximum CFSE value observed in the case of D6 configuration. So in the case of D6 configuration, the maximum CFSE value actually minus 2.4 delta naught value. And again in D10 case, here also we have a 0 CFSE value, because we have total 10 d electrons, 6 d electrons available in T2G and 4 electrons are available in EZ orbitals. So the overall CFSE value actually 0 delta naught value. Okay, this is all about calculation of CFSE value, crystal field stabilization energy, in the case of octahedral complexes. So we can able to calculate CFSE values both in the case of low spin complexes as well as the high spin complexes. So this is all about today's session. In the next session, I'm going to discuss about splitting of d orbitals in the case of tetrahedral complexes. So thank you one and all for watching this session. If you have any queries, please contact through my email ID, or you can also send me request to my mobile number. Thank you one and all.